My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me, it would have just been from someone else. I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on. Not for you. You're dead. That's neither here nor there. It actually reminds me of a story. It was summer, and I was in the park. I was having just a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville. And I said to him, Orville, I have a story. And then he said to me, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, oh, Orville, not every story has to have a significance. Sometimes a story is just a story. You try to read too much into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, and you just drive yourself crazy. Had it happen to a friend once. It wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. Not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe, or thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume. Sometimes I said a story is just a story, so just be quiet for a second. It would just be quiet for a second in life and eat your sandwich, okay? And of course, it was only then I realized I made a sandwich. Poor Orville was having such a difficult time eating it. Elephants don't have those clumsy hands. Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They're all feet. And I couldn't imagine someone telling me to eat something with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a bakery nearby, and I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I'm unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I assure you that Orville does. Now, was on a Tuesday, which is good because rye bread was always fresh on Tuesdays. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday. Or rather, they sold it at a discount for people who wanted to feed the ducks, and probably at the end of the day, finally threw it all out. I don't recall very well. But I do remember a man who would bring his son to the bakery every Wednesday, and he would go feed the ducks. He would buy all the sourdough bread, and of course, you're not supposed to feed ducks sourdough bread at all. It swells up in their stomach, and then they all die. And at least that's what I've heard. I've never actually saw any ducks die myself, but I did notice a substantial decrease in the ducks population over the course of a few years. I just never thought to stop the man and tell him that he was killing the ducks by feeding them sourdough bread. And if you want my opinion on the matter, and I told Orville this, well, if you want to feed ducks or birds or any kind of matter of that, any kind for that matter, it's best to buy seeds. I mean, if you think about it, bread of any sort didn't occur in nature. They don't grow on trees or spring up from bushes. I don't think birds know what to do with bread. What was I saying?